somehow we rewatched the entire Star Wars trilogy sequel.
That's not enough explanation. The sequel trilogy return.
Apparently, nobody planned that part. Live from Crawford Studios.
What? What's good, fellas? That was good, though.
What's going on?
That worked. That worked.
I goofed it up.
No,
It's all good. So we are back with Star Wars, and we're going to talk about the sequel trilogy, the highly controversial sequel trilogy.
Right.
Yes.
So what do we say first? So people always go and they say, oh, it didn't make sense. It didn't belong. It was its own separate thing. It basically was because it's supposed to be moving on from the last three.
Correct.
Right? So was it 7, 8, and 9,
But
right?
it had a small tie to it somehow.
Right. But it was supposed to be like the next part because it's after Luke, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
After, all the Han and all that other stuff that now it was supposed to start a whole new thing. So go ahead, Tom.
So what did each one of us think that The Force Awakens was originally when it came out? How do you guys feel about it when it first came out?
So when it first came out, I thought it was going to be like a Return of the Jedi as a whole. That's where, Luke was going to come back and, float into this, float back in. And when, once they found him, they got the map, they found him, and, he's going to be like the savior. The savior. Yeah, okay, right. The new savior.
We all assumed that he was going to be the savior.
Right.
He was going to come in and he was going to fuck shit up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I thought Ren was going to go over, find, bring back, you know what I'm saying? And that he was going to be the support, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, she was going to be able to just rock.
And were we excited about the trilogy?
Yes.
I was.
Hell yeah.
Star Wars is back.
When I saw the first one,
right,
I liked the whole thing.
It's my favorite out of the sequel trilogy. That's my favorite one.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, man, so with such and such.
Right.
And then they get to the second one, and I'm like, I didn't like the movie the way it started.
Right, because it wasn't,
it was like,
to me, it wasn't the Star Wars that, not so much what Star Wars was, it just didn't seem like it worked well with the other. Like, it made it right. But don't forget, Luke Skywalker was out.
Right.
And that's, I think, what the turnoff was.
And did our opinion change after The Last Jedi, the second movie?
No.
Mine did.
Really?
Yeah, the second he threw that the lightsaber over his head, I was like, what the heck is going on here?
Especially because you and I were talking about it recently.
Right.
When R2-D2 woke up and then they found the other part of the puzzle from where he was at.
Right.
Then you're like, oh, shit. They figured out where he is, so now they're going to get back. And that must have been left there for a reason.
Yeah.
Hello?
Right,
Then she gets there and he goes, yeah, fuck you, I'm throwing this, I don't want it. But that doesn't make any sense.
Right. And that's why I think that there was so much beef with the movie, because he didn't fucking talk. You know what I'm saying? It was like there was no lines. Right. He wasn't explaining.
In the first movie.
In the first one.
They just stare at him and then
it's like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing.
Something big to happen.
Right. And then the next one, he was just
I think the handoff was terrible.
Yeah. Oh,
that was
definitely.
what it was. It was the handoff.
Yeah.
It was like he wasn't talking, so you're expecting something big to happen, and he just throws it over his head. You're like,
yeah, what
the tone just completely
I was waiting
changed.
to say
right there.
And again,
where did you find this?
The issue is that they had too many hands in the pot.
Right.
That's what it is. That's, I think, the crux of the issue with the sequel trilogy is too many hands in the pot.
I believe it.
So
too many chefs in the kitchen, baby.
Anyway, so this is just preliminary questions before we start breaking it down. So what did you guys? So after the third movie, how did you guys feel after the end of the third movie?
I wasn't happy with it at all.
Yeah, I did, and I would, like I said, I wasn't excited.
I didn't realize that he could actually
somehow Palpatine has returned.
Yeah,
right.
And that's
shitty
the thing. Like,
writing.
Palpatine didn't return. There's no fucking way, because I don't know. Well, now again, we have looked. I have. He was
right.
He was dead.
Right. So, like, for me, I'm like, we've had the conversation where I said, Windu's still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he fell out of the window. He lost a hand and he fell out.
That just came out.
Right, yeah. But you could see that that Windu could have survived. You can't see how it was that Palpatine survived.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just too fucking
Windu,
far-fetched.
because they're the Jedi, and they can almost like bounce off.
Yeah, like he would have bounced up, right? But it did. Yeah,
right.
this dude landed in the fucking in the
May have landed
power
in the car that was going past by.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
little,
yeah. No.
And the question is, can a movie be entertaining and badly planned? I say yes. The movies are entertaining. I don't.
Okay,
I won't.
fair enough.
I won't take that away from them.
No, they are.
They are definitely entertaining to watch. I don't think the sequels fail because they had no good idea. I think they fail because they had too many interesting ideas and never given like structure and time and direction.
Right, fair enough.
I think that is the biggest issue of the movie. There's a lot of handoffs, a lot of different directors. Like I think J.J. Abrams did the first one. Right. They didn't do the second one.
Yeah, which he should have.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
They did all of them.
Yes.
Right. If they're gonna do that, they should have said, all right, this person's going to do the entire trilogy.
And you have to. It's like a fucking DC
and I
fucking
guarantee
movie.
you that story would not have been the way it came out now.
Right.
No way. There's no fucking way. I don't believe that. Because it was so corny to just see that. It was like,
Yeah. Like I said, this reminds me of DC movies. You know,
because they always change the
they change the director, the flow of it, the vibe of the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, bro.
The movie did have a lot, especially when you watch The Force Awakens. The movie did have a lot going for it. First of all, you get to see a rebel story. You know, you got Poe Dameron or Dameron.
Yeah,
I'm probably messing up the name, but he is like an elite pilot,
right?
And then you have Finn, a defector, a stormtrooper. We'd never seen that before in Star Wars. That was
I thought that was interesting, though.
Because we never saw that before in Star Wars.
Because that was the switch up of the clones and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they were getting rid of the clones and things are just starting to change up. So that makes sense.
Han and Leia's son turning to the dark side.
Yep.
Right. You know, Kylo Ren or Ben Kenobi is his actual name.
Right.
And you know, the New Republic recognizing that there's this new fascist threat, the New Order. You got the Starkiller Base, which was another interesting thing, you know, because you had the Death Star, which was able to destroy planets, and now you had the Starkiller Base, which used the power of the sun to destroy entire star systems.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
So which made the Death Star look like a fucking
like a pea shooter.
Pew, 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 pew,
I need that shirt. Pew pew pew.
Pew, pew. You know what I mean? So I think
that's great.
I think the movie had a lot going for it. But again, it was the handoff between the different movies.
Right. Definitely.
Absolutely.
This is going to be the theme of this episode.
Yeah.
You know, where the writing just like fell apart.
I did have a problem with him killing Han, though. I thought that just didn't make.
I think for dramatics, it was good, and I honestly don't think Harrison Ford wanted to do more than one movie.
Possibly.
I
just didn't, but it just seemed weird to me because of the whole way the movie was going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we go back with Han, I don't think he should have killed Han either. You're probably right. You know, Han didn't want to, Harrison Ford probably didn't want to do anymore. But I think that
have him die off in the movie a different way.
Well,
like
because here's the shit,
though.
Well, here's the shit. Kylo Ren was doing it because he thought and felt, and that it's supposed to be you have to kill that person in your life, and the love or whatever, to embrace the dark side. But he wasn't dark. Again, he was another one, just like Vader, like Anakin,
right?
That if Mace Windu or of the like would have raised him or helped him out with his Jedi power, he wouldn't have been on the dark side. He was too fucking nice. He fought the dark side,
right?
And how it was that it was like he was really trying to be dark,
Right? Yeah, he was trying. To me, it looked like you were just saying. I was going to say it earlier that he was trying to be dark,
right?
Well, it wasn't coming natural. He was pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that I always say is the difference between Kylo Ren and Anakin Skywalker, or I could say Anakin Skywalker,
right?
Is that like Anakin Skywalker was trying to be good, but he naturally fell to the dark side.
Right. Yes.
As where Kylo Ren,
because he was insecure,
was forcing himself to be dark.
Yeah.
Like, oh, are you going to help me? And he kills his father.
Yeah.
Push him over. It's like he forced it to be dark. It's like, I got to be dark. I got to be dark. I got to do some dark shit.
Yeah,
as
no
where
reason.
Like Anakin's like, I'm trying not to do dark shit, but I'm going to do dark shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I got to help it because I'm trying to. But he had he was doing the dark shit. Anakin was doing it because of something that he thought that was going to be, that he was going to be able to.
And he had dark-seated shit, about it. He had trauma about his mom getting killed.
Exactly. A lot of manipulation as well from, what's his face?
Yeah. Kylo, there was nothing wrong with that mother.
No.
He had a good life.
He had a really good fucking life, bro. He was chilling. You know what I mean?
What a fucking brat.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't wanna, yeah. And then for all that to fight and do all that dumb shit to come to the, to come to the light.
Come to the light anyway.
Yeah,
which is like really weird to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It was just so.
The writing, it was just like a pinball machine.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Over the place.
Like he just needed a spanking.
But I think I did like BB-8 the character. I thought that was different.
Well,
and he wasn't he wasn't like a replacement for
R2. Right, he wasn't.
He was his own kind of deal. And I thought it was a cool premises where like he was a rolling ball with like a magnetic top. I thought that was kind of cool that, because I know that they're trying to progress things with technology in the story to show that technology changes. But it's funny though, because the grand scheme of Star Wars is like the high-tech civilization has been around for like 25,000 years.
Right.
Can you imagine living in a high-tech society for 25,000 years?
Yeah,
I know that they're trying to advance things, but I think at a certain point, like it stagnates technology. But that's just my personal opinion.
Right. Well, I mean,
I would think it would continue to growth. I think they would.
But to what? You know what I mean? Because higher technology
we never thought of the stuff that's coming out now in reality, and we're like, holy shit, I can't believe they can do that now.
Well, but even like we'll skip for quickly for a sec to like even Star Trek. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Star Wars, Star Trek, they get to
which we're getting into next.
Yeah. It's gonna be next year. But like when you can't do anything more. Other than that, everybody's gonna freaking it's like
no, you could just make the machine better.
Yeah, that's saying you could always make a machine better
and then enhance it in some way.
Yeah, I think
like anything, like an automobile or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So they would progress absolutely better.
Yeah. But I don't think like society as a whole like that. And we'd be like fucking remember
you would just gradually fall into it because you learn it that way, like we did.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I in the first movie, I did like Rey's character. I thought it was interesting. A scavenger.
Yes,
right. I like
Jakku. In a desert planet where like. There must have been, they never really explained, but I'm assuming there was like a big war where the Empire lost, maybe, towards the end when they were breaking apart after Palpatine died, because there's all these like Star Destroyers that are just like these like dead Star Destroyers, and she scavenges and they basically just for food.
Right. She was like like a bread,
1/4 portion.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did like in the movie I thought was a good cinematics was at the end when Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting in that snowy forest.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
they're
cool.
just like fucking hitting the trees.
Yeah.
Lightsabers.
She's figuring it out.
Cool. Yeah.
She was figuring it out.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do criticize. They go, "Oh, the lightsaber duels weren't as good as the prequels." It's like the thing I think people fail to understand is they did work well with continuity. In the prequels, you have people who were trained under the Jedi Order for their whole entire life. They're like experts in lightsaber combat. They were brought up as children during lightsaber combat. So of course they're going to be amazing. Of course, the choreography is fucking amazing in the prequels.
Right.
But in the sequel trilogy, there's no Jedi Order.
It's
There's
just
fucking
raw.
learning shit on their own.
Yeah.
So there's really no, lightsaber combat skills.
But doesn't Leia, though, train her, though?
No.
In the third one?
No, Leia didn't train her.
Yeah, remember when she's running around and she's training?
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did. They did do like a whole like little training
That was the third one?
Yeah.
With Rey. Yeah, and it's the third or second one.
It might have been.
Well, it was that. I forgot about that part. Like, totally forgot about that shit.
Yeah.
But even still, it's like, it's...
Because Leia technically trained as well, right?
Right, she only did a little bit. She only did like the combat shit.
And then when she saw something or something happened to her and she was like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah, she trained a little bit. Like when she got blown out of the fucking spaceship, held her breath kind of thing. And then,
that was one of the things I was talking about earlier about that. To me, that was a little too much for me.
Yeah.
It was just... It didn't make sense to me. How could she do that?
Well, but because that was her using the Force. And then we're looking at, so let's look at it like this. Think about it like this. Here it is where Luke has gone and he has trained and, meditated and done all that he has been able to do with what he knew and how he learned from, what was left of Jedi, Yoda. Right. You know what I'm saying? Him practicing, he knows that, I will live forever, with the Force and that kind of shit. And now here it is where Leia is learning the same thing. Like she's actually meditating and, trying probably new shit and, trying to move things across there. I think that's why, like for me, I don't find that kind of far-fetched. I kind of get it.
So she was using the Force in her own way.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly how she survived, using the Force.
Well, that's kind of like in Rogue One, right? Is that right?
Right.
Where the blind man was doing the same thing.
Yeah, right.
He was tapping into the Force.
Right.
He was able to.
But he didn't have enough midichlorians in his system for, to be Jedi.
Yeah, but he still was able to.
He was able to do and use what he thought, what he felt, how he was.
It worked.
Yeah.
So that means anybody could do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I just think that, you said, for this one, like with Kylo Ren, he was just trying too fucking hard.
I think so too. I agree. I totally agree with you. I was like, what was the whole anger thing? And then he's punching his wound. And I'm like, okay, I'm not getting this.
Yeah.
Why is he so pissed off at the world? Like, he came from two really good parents. When you think, that necessarily doesn't, even in real life, doesn't go right either. Even when people
right.
They think, and then the kid winds up going in a totally different direction. You never see it coming.
So
go ahead.
So I think where the movie does struggle is that it does follow New Hope a little too well, too closely. Starkiller Base is basically another Death Star, just a stronger Death Star.
Right.
Even though it's cool, as I mentioned before, it is kind of a repeat. The New Republic is destroyed before people can even understand what the New Republic is. They really don't really nail that down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it is kind of hard in a movie to do that. But I think they could have done a little bit better job of the setup. The same thing with like the First Order's rise. They don't really explain that well either.
Right.
It's just like they're there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no one explains anything. They're just there. And, Rey's power level raises questions the trilogy never answers consistently. You know what I mean? So, and then Luke is just like a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
And we mentioned that before we started.
Right.
He's just like, they just leave it. Like, it's so weird the way they end it. Like, no words. It's just like,
he just dies. And that's it. He disappears like
he just disappeared because,
did.
Yeah, but he didn't even die.
No, well.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like it was this.
I'm talking about the first.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and the credits. It's,
yeah. No, that sucked. That fucking.
I didn't mind that part so much because then I thought, oh, wow, what's he going to do when we go back? And they're going to hopefully start from that point. You'll see,
But for me, it should have been earlier in the movie and him have some words. Like, I think they made Luke too much of a like, I don't want to say loner, I guess.
Almost.
Well, I guess so, yeah. Too much of a punk.
I mean, he was still good in the movie. He did a great job in the movies. You know what I mean? I thought that,
And one of the other things, too, is like...
I agree with you.
So when we go on to the next movie, right? The Last... Is it The Last Jedi? The Last Jedi is the second movie, right? So they never really explain who Rey's parents are.
Right.
Right away.
But it's... What's his name, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not explained... It's not really explained fully. They don't fully explain how Luke disappears.
Right.
Towards the end, when like he used too much force.
Right. Yeah. That
I think he was quoted saying that he overdosed on the Force or something.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's weird, I think.
Right.
They also don't explain who Snoke is. You don't really, they show it in the third movie, but they really don't when you see like the clones.
Right.
So I think that's another, and I think that might be attributed to improper handoffs with different directors.
Yes.
Again, this is the crux of the issue with the sequels.
Right.
Agreed.
Too many hands in the fucking pot.
Yes.
Keep it consistent.
Right.
One director, one or two producers.
Right.
That's it. And I hope because there's talks about them continuing the story after Rise of Skywalker. And I hope they learn their lesson and keep it one creative fucking direction.
Right.
Because that is the problem. Keep it tight.
Well, see,
kind of what they're doing with the other series on Disney. Like, so like each one of those, and it sticks within its
and that
lane,
same story.
It's doing its stuff.
So
I think
no. I'm
that's
with
exactly
you.
what they should be doing.
So like, dig it. In certain animations, right, you'll have like a guest. And even some of the DC TV shows, they had guest directors, but they stayed with that same story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They stayed with that same
flair on it.
Yeah, just a little bit of something, but it was still the same story.
Right.
They followed the comic book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck can't They do that with Star Wars.
Right.
Why? I don't understand that shit.
Was there another series that came out afterwards?
Yeah, there's a whole shitload of books and comics and stuff of Star Wars. Like Star Wars could have his own library.
So after the first 6,
right? Yeah,
it just continued.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of things that we don't see, but that's where a lot of the animated series come from. Animated series. That's where the animated series came from. A lot of them, like they said, the Clone Wars, Bad Batch, Ahsoka's cartoon, the Rebels. Like a lot of that stuff came from the in between the comics.
Kenobi, right?
Yeah, like I said, all those things came from the books, the stories. The comics and all that other, that's all the in-between stuff.
Right. And that's what I like
and
about
it. That's what they needed to do with these movies.
Maybe they'll do it on, well, it was Disney that put the movies out, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe they'll fix it by doing it in the series of each one of those.
Well, right. But they haven't done it with these 3.
Here and there,
but they haven't done it with these 3 like that. You know what I mean? We're still getting leftovers.
Anakin was with Ahsoka, right? I mean...
Right, but that's the prequel. Like
that's that Between Worlds kind of thing, right? What was that called?
Right, but that was her her becoming the master. Like this is the end of her. Like this is her journey and all that other stuff. Her meditation that she saw Anakin, and that's what made her a master. You know what I mean? That was a little bit different. With these, like I said, with these last 3 episodes, they're so far off from each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
it's not even close, man.
Yeah, like it would take 3 series between each one to
keep the first one.
Right.
And start over.
So it's
change
interesting
2 and change 3.
Yeah. So with The Last Jedi, so what did it get right? I think the cinematography was probably the best.
You didn't even go with the story. If they recorded it really lovely.
So the special effects were good too.
They did an amazing job with the cinematography.
Right. So yes, it was beautiful. I'm not going to say different. It was purty.
Got purty mouth.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the things I did like in that movie too was the throne room fight sequence where you actually get to see the Imperial Guards fight.
Yeah.
Because they were always just
standing there.
Guys standing there.
Right.
And then you get to see like, holy shit, these guys
they could really get
serious.
out.
They know how to get down. Yeah.
And if you actually follow the story with them, if you go into if you deep dive into like their training, they have like this intense training where like they there's like a planet they go to and they get selected for this training and they go through like this like Spartan type fucking crazy fucking training.
Yep.
To only just stand there and be ready in case some shit happens.
Right. Yeah, right.
And like it's great. The kind of training they go through is pretty intense.
What do they look like?
Those are the ones with the red.
I know that, but what do they look like without that stuff on?
I mean, they're humans.
Humanoid?
I think they're Yeah.
Yeah, because they look like they look almost like the Sith. What planet would they went with the witches? They look almost like that, like
Dathomirians?
Yes, yeah, they look with something more like that. If I remember, so yeah.
Okay.
But still, even with that. That's a story that you get a piece of during like Darth Maul, like the old ones, when they were showing with Darth Maul.
But now they got the new series.
Now they had the new series. Yeah, I still haven't even fucking finished it.
Man.
Yeah, it's like I got like another
I gotta watch
episode
it
to go.
Too, you're right.
I got like another episode to go. But still, it's just I just wish that I love Star Wars, man. I really love Star Wars. And I just wish that with these last 3, there would have been more connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I said earlier they felt like they were rushed.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. It felt like it was rushed.
And I do think, though, Luke projecting himself instead of just slaughtering the Jedi is like instead of slaughtering the First Order,
right,
is probably one of the most like Jedi things you could do.
Oh, yeah. But
so I think they did get that right.
They got that right. But then it should have been like him being like, him projecting.
But not that it kills him. That was the weird thing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't have done it because he by now should have been like a super master. You know what I'm saying?
Like he uses force projection, but it doesn't kill him. That's the thing. No, I think that kind of was weak.
Right.
But again, it's funny. Writing sometimes has a lot to do with what happens behind the scenes.
Wait.
Like maybe he didn't want to do a third movie.
Wait. We're going to do the throwback for a second.
Okay, let's go.
If you remember, and when Luke in, I believe it was Return of the Jedi, or it might have been Empire, but anyways, but when he turned around and he went to go see Yoda, Yoda had said that the more he uses the Force, and how when he was picking up the X-Wing fighter out of the swamp, that him using that much of the Force takes his life energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So he says, that's why you turn around and you see that when he turns around, he's like, and he lifts it up and he places it down. He's like, lay down, I must.
Well, he was old too. So.
But because of two, now we look at all of the in-between movies. So now we see when Yoda was younger and he's like, zunk, you know what I mean? And now he's fighting. He throws his cloak off and now he's fighting what's-his-face and he's jumping all over the place.
Yeah,
and he's using the Force and he's like, like he's doing all that shit.
Right.
So it's all the fights that we didn't see that Yoda had. So that then him being 1,000 years old is more like he's 1,500, 2,000 years old.
Maybe.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that then here it is where he was a special race that was able to, to handle the Force as such. But then you have Luke, who's a regular human, and he may not be able, so we know we're going to live to be 100 years old. So his body, his life force couldn't handle projecting
Well,
that
the original
far.
series, Obi-Wan wasn't as strong as he was when he fought
Darth Vader?
in the original Star Wars, the first one.
Right.
When he's like, you strike me down, I'll become more powerful then.
Right. Because that was what they said because they were going to go, and be one with the Force and
but then you saw the actual remake. Someone did a short and said, now that they know how to do the lightsaber fights and all that with Obi-Wan and
and
they go at it like super crazy and throwing shit at each other like they were having a battle.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So do you think Luke's failure with Ben or Kylo Ren, if you want, we'll say Ben Kenobi, not Ben Kenobi, Ben Solo.
Yeah,
Ben Solo. Yeah.
Do you think that's believable?
I don't know.
Well, why not?
I don't know. I just felt like that was just, made up too.
So my thing is,
I mean, it was of course made up, but I mean,
yeah.
I believe Luke became disillusioned. I believe he did fail Ben. I believe that he became ashamed. What I struggle with is the most important transformation in Luke's entire adult life happened off screen, and we only receive fragments of it.
Right.
It's like we only see. I feel like they could have showed a lot more detail in what happened.
Kind of what he did and what he went through and everything.
Yeah, and that's
Jedi.
why, exactly, because once he disappeared, because what was it that he came back for? I'm having a brain fart, so I apologize. He had come back for something. Because wasn't he, was it the Mandalorian or whatever?
Yeah, they showed him building the temple.
Yeah,
He was starting to build it.
And all the stuff that he went through.
Was doing.
Yeah, because then even still with that, where's Grogu?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know he's here. But I mean,
and he met him. They were actually met one another after the fact.
Yeah, because Luke went and picked him up, helped him out, took care of him, whatever, trained him a little bit, after Ahsoka. So it's like, that would be cool to see. But now we have to have a backstory. Do we go backwards with the movie making? Or do, again, like I said before, get the animated series and put them in between to see, what Luke was really doing, when he trained.
I think
do good animation.
They rushed so many things.
Yeah, they did.
Like I feel like we didn't even get to learn much about Snoke. It's just like he was you saw this big guy in the holograms, and then you finally see him, and I killed him. I was like,
yeah. Like, what the fuck was that?
And also the other thing too is the Knights of Ren. Like they don't ghouls. They just that was like the line ghouls. Yeah. Like what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Ghoul what?
You know what I mean? Like
ghoulos. What the fuck?
Like okay, so he has like a posse. Like what's going on here?
Yeah,
like they don't really explain the Knights of Ren much.
Right.
Like what the fuck is that? Like they don't really explain it much.
Yeah, there was just too much. Like I said, there was so many. But then, so was that done on purpose so that this way they could expand, on having the, like I said, the animated series and the, the one-off shows, on in between to show those things.
Yeah, right.
But then they didn't even make those. So that then now you have these 3 movies. Right. They never made anything to sit in between. There was no, quote unquote, like an Andor. There was no, Rebels. There was no Bad Batch. That kind of shit in between.
But doesn't she come up at the end of the movie with her own lightsaber? Right, it's a different design. You see a light,
right? But it was just a handle. Where did she even get the crystal from? Did she take it off from somebody else?
White.
I forgot what she did.
It wasn't even like
it was a white one, right? Because she was on some other shit. But but I'm trying to remember where did she get the crystal?
The white lightsabers are actually if you
I forgot what they for.
So they explained it. I don't know if they explained it in Ahsoka or I looked it up. But
right.
Because Ahsoka, she has a white lightsaber too. So it's apparently white lightsabers are purified crystals that were once bled.
Right.
So like you take a Sith bled kyber crystal, which is, turns the lightsaber red.
Right.
And then it's purified, I don't know how, through, putting positive energy or light energy into it, and then it turns white.
Right. I'm trying to remember whose lightsaber she had. Did she have Ren's?
No,
Kylo Ren's?
It was, what's his name?
No, but she had, did she have two with her?
No, she had one that looked like she made herself. It was a wider, it was a different handle, and you see her. She turned it on, and then that woman asked who her name was, and she said Skywalker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember where she got that other one from. Like, if where she got the crystal, because
I don't know.
Can change the.
Maybe it was Kylo's. Maybe you're
it.
right. Maybe it was his, and she did that to the. That would be an interesting story if she took his actual. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember where she got it from. I'd be lying if I said whatever.
That's actually a good thought. I hadn't even thought of that.
But again, still, it's another story.
Right.
You know what I mean? That that was left unanswered.
I say go back to 1 and start over.
Yeah.
Do 2 and 3 over.
Yeah.
The way it should have been done.
Yeah. Well, 7 and 8.
I mean, you know what I mean?
7, 8, 9. Yeah.
I mean, the series 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I meant not.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
My bad. I should say 7, 8, 9. You're right.
Yeah. But it's just wild, bro. I don't understand what they're thinking when they do these, because, geeks like us, we're like, follow the fucking story, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is what was said. Why didn't they have this? And people disagree with us, but when they're made like that, everybody's fucking happy. When it's made like boom, 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 coming out from, comic books or the paperback. You know what I mean?
The way it was.
The way that it should be.
Right.
people are like, oh yeah, well, it could have said this. But wait a minute.
They might
they
change a couple things, but it'll be
more but it was that, man.
Artistic,
Yeah. It's great. It's great when they follow it. It sucks when they fucking don't.
Right.
Then you get aggravated and you're sitting there and I'm jumping up in the theater. No! Like, what the fuck? Son of a bitch.
But yeah.
Give me a free popcorn.
So, the next segment I want to talk about is the director tug of war.
Okay.
So, like, sorry, that was my phone. Rather than making the, conversation about J.J. Abrams versus Rian Johnson, is that the leadership and trilogy planning problem, right?
Right.
So, like, you have episode 7, which creates a lot of mysteries, right?
Right.
Then episode 8 comes and it dismantles all the fucking mysteries.
Right.
And then episode 9 comes and it tries to restore and replace them.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that again, it's convert handoff. Again, this is the biggest problem. If you talk to anybody who says they don't like the sequel trilogy, which is a lot of people,
right?
The main issue is the writing. Like, I don't think anybody argues the cinematics,
right?
Or the special effects,
right? Yes,
or any of that shit.
It was beautiful, awesome,
the
amazing.
writing is just
terrible
because of all the handoffs.
Yep. Yeah. And they had good people, good actors.
Yeah. No. They did a great job.
The actors were great.
I think all of them did an amazing job acting. It's just this goes to show you that, like, you can have great directors, you can have great actors, you can have great cinematography, great special effects, but if the writing is shit,
yeah. Was
that Pac-Man?
Yeah, Pac-Man. Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks, man. 'Cause, I mean, think of how many of us are excited for Star Wars, Like,
of course.
I love Star Wars, and here it is where you get this little shit and it's just like it throws a wrench in it, bro. It just slows it down.
Okay. Can I just say this one thing?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Is it Poe the one who defected?
Finn
was.
I'm sorry.
Poe
Finn.
is the pilot.
Right. That's right. My bad. I had him first. So Finn, I thought that somehow in the next movie, remember when he got hurt?
Right.
He thought he was going to use the Force, right?
He was going to become a freaking
Right.
Jedi.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yes, I really thought that was going to happen.
A lot of people did.
He should have been.
They should have been, absolutely.
They should have made him. They should have let him be a Jedi.
Come back is that, like.
Yes. Well, not even come back. Like, he was an untrained Jedi. They never checked his midichlorians. You know what I mean? Like, they should have made him a Jedi. He had all of the heart to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
And
that would have been interesting.
Yeah, because he was fighting with Rey.
Absolutely.
He was not fighting with her, but they were tag teaming against Ren.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, in the first movie. Right?
Yeah. So then they should have made, they should have been like, what movie was that?
He gets hurt.
You have some skill.
And then what's her name? She just goes to town.
Yeah. And because she had the Force. But I think they should have let him, he should have definitely had some. But I'm sorry, go ahead. You
No. So
you were saying the directors.
Yeah.
It's just,
I think they should have let J.J. Abrams just do the whole series. It's too bad that he didn't say, listen, if I'm doing it, I'm doing all of it.
Well, no, because he was doing the first one. I don't think he even knew that he wasn't going to do the next one.
I would have said, listen,
if I'm going to do the first one,
I want to be for all of the next two.
He probably thought he was. You know what I mean?
I think.
Yeah, you got to secure it though, because there's
I
always
hope
some stupid shit
whatever future projects they work on, if they're going to go anything post Rise of Skywalker, that they learn their lesson and keep continuity. Because that is, again, it's the biggest issue with the sequel trilogy is continuity. So,
well, now here's a question for you: do you think that they would actually go with movies or just make a whole bunch of series?
They're going to do movies. I think there's talks about them doing another.
Right.
movie.
Everything is all talks, because how many times didn't they already say, oh, yeah, like there was quote unquote leaks. There's a leak of this happening. There's a leak of that happening. And then it turns out that it was like, no. It doesn't matter what Lucasfilms wanted. We run it now and we're not doing that. We're going to make this series instead.
Right.
I think the smartest thing that happened is that all these TV series, like Dave Filoni, making a lot of the stuff, is that they're trying to do some cleanup with the trilogies. Where in Mandalorian, they're kind of explaining how Grogu they take his DNA because they're trying to bring Palpatine back, through Grogu's DNA, with the midichlorians.
That's what they were going to do?
Yeah. They kind of explain that. If you watch the Mandalorian,
we got to watch
that
the
was
movie.
The whole thing where they were trying the cloning process. They were trying to figure out the cloning.
And so by using him, I think
right. That's what they're trying to get him. Yeah. So spoiler alert, sorry those who didn't see it.
I didn't realize that.
Mandalorian's been out for how many years?
I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So they're trying to do some cleanup work on it, which I give them credit for, because they knew that the sequel trilogy kind of
Yeah.
So I think that is smart, because the thing also, not to go too off topic, but if you remember the prequel trilogy, when it came out, it wasn't well received like it is now. In fact, I was reading something recently about what's her name that played Padme.
Yes.
Why is her name?
Yeah, I can't
my tongue. Oh my God, I'm so terrible with names. I should know her name.
Yeah, I see her. But go ahead.
Right? Huh? No.
No, Padme. What's her real name in real life?
Oh my God, I should remember her name.
Yeah,
oh my God,
I'm
stupid sometimes.
How do you guys not notice?
Yeah, you motherfucker.
Yeah,
you don't remember either. You don't remember either. But go ahead.
She was saying that it fucked her career up a little bit. And then, someone vouched for her, and she got she did the Black Swan and everything like that.
Right.
And
you're talking about Natalie
Portman.
Natalie Portman.
Oh my fucking
Dude,
God.
I was always ready.
It aged better. The prequels. They weren't well received by fans. There was a lot of people who weren't crazy about it. But as time went on, because more content came out, the Clone Wars series came out.
Right.
Bad Batch, Rebels, Ahsoka. Now all of a sudden people started liking the prequels because it added more continuity.
Right.
So I think there is a good chance that the sequel trilogy, some people might start liking it better if more continuity is added to it to do some of the cleanup work. So I think the fact that they are doing some cleanup work where they're adding some continuity to the sequel trilogy might help. But again, I still think it was poorly executed.
But how did it ruin her career? Did she say that?
Well, she was worried about it because it got really bad because it wasn't received well. Someone vouched for her and she was able to get more stuff, but she even, it was even stated that because it just didn't have good reviews, the prequel trilogy.
But that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense because I hear what you're saying. It just,
now because we're looking at it now, we're going, oh, the fucking prequel.
Well, no, even then,
awesome. You know what I mean?
No, because even back then,
for Star Wars fans, but
but she was picking. To me, I don't. I guess they don't call you for the movies.
We're a little
or whatever,
biased because we're Star Wars fans, but I think overall, in the grand scheme of things, for actors.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I think she's a great, she's a great actress.
Oh, of course,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
And,
I thought
and
she
all
did
the
a
other
great
things that
job.
cinnamon.
Because
even what you said,
I
what was the name of the movie?
didn't receive it well, but now it is well received. That's the ironic part.
That's crazy.
Natalie Portman's a good actress.
Yeah,
very
she's
good.
Great.
But even, she was very little. That's what I'm
saying. Like all those things from when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why it was that they would say, it ruined her career. Like, I don't know, that's crazy.
No, she's been able to do, and she's probably to her own credit. I'm sure that she didn't allow herself to get boxed into one thing.
Well,
and she just
there was actually a director
that
that kind of vouched for her, and she was able to get more stuff.
That's wild.
But now it's like it's kind of turned around where like the prequels, everybody loves it now.
Mm-hmm.
Just needed some time to grow on you.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know what? That's a lot of those movies, though. You know what I mean? Because think about it. When Star Wars first came out, it was great because it was that that crazy sci-fi thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
New.
It was an upgrade from watching Buck Rogers on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever,
it was on the big screen because they didn't even make Star Trek yet.
Not the into the
right into the thing. So that was all that.
I think it came out around the same time.
Right. So you had all those movies all those shows
later on, though.
Right.
We'll get into that when we start the next one.
5 or 10 years from now, we might be singing a different tune about the trilogy, the sequel trilogy.
No, yeah, you're probably right.
I doubt it. What, the Star Wars one?
Yeah.
No, it blows.
That
won't change.
I'm gonna have to.
I have let go on this one.
Yeah, wow.
From previous episode.
Yes. No, there you go, Luke. Good shit.
And I have come to realization they suck.
Well, see, that's the thing. But again, the movies didn't suck. The storylines are what suck.
Yes, absolutely. I have to agree with that. Yes, I did enjoy those parts of the movie.
Yeah,
but overall, the story was
Yeah, because it's going to be in 10 years that the movies would have been better fillers, meaning that for the story they should have made these side pieces. Like they said, the in between, the animated series or the live action series that are going to fall in between.
Okay,
those are the ones that should have been on the forefront. And that trilogy should have been what was the filler in between to give you the backstory.
Though.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Different timeline.
That would have been cool,
Different timeline.
So let me just go through some points about the Rise of Skywalker. I want to go through some bullet points I made that where it gets it right. So it moves quickly and delivers constant adventure.
Right.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
That was good.
Kylo and Rey's Force bond, the Force dyad, is visually inventive, where they can pop in and out of different
definitely
like kind of teleport shit. They could pull shit from one side of space to the other. I thought that was a cool concept. Right. I did like that.
Right. Well, now pause 1 second. Sorry. So now that's what they should have done with Luke. You know what I'm saying? That he was able to pop back and forth. Not that he had done it where then he
so
dies.
Hard that he
that he used it so much. Like he should have been able to go there.
I don't think they wanted him in the next movie.
Yeah, like he shouldn't have had, and that's what the bullshit was. All right, sorry, go ahead.
But that was the Force dyad,
Right.
The lightsaber transfers through the Force is excellent.
Yes.
Kylo's redemption scenes are emotionally effective.
Yeah, I think they were fake. I felt like he was, but go ahead.
Han's return works as a memory rather than literal Force ghost.
Okay,
that was good because he's not
not like that Jedi. He's not.
But he did come into memory, kind of like a hallucination.
Right.
Kinda,
yeah.
So that was good. Leia is handled with care despite the limitations caused by Carrie Fisher's death.
Right.
I think they did that pretty well because I mean, the funny thing is, see, I'm for me, like I'm watching the movie, I'm like, how are they doing this? Because Carrie Fisher died. How are they doing this? And I thought they did a good job, despite that she died with the special effects and everything.
Right. Yeah.
And they
were able to finish it up.
Yeah. It looked pretty good. Yeah. But then you know what? We'll sidebar real quick. That's what they did with Brendan Lee and Bruce Lee. When they died, they used their like doubles.
Right.
Their lookalikes to finish off the last part of the movie because they make the movie all over the place. But go ahead. Sorry.
I thought the imagery of them battling on the Death Star was fucking
wasn't it?
Waves coming. I thought that was done exceptionally well.
Yeah,
the ruins of the Death Star. I
Mm-hmm.
loved that scene.
Yeah.
So I think they did. That was something they definitely got right.
Right.
Ben Solo's brief return shows the charisma and personality he may have had before becoming Kylo.
Right.
So I thought that was good.
Yep.
of course, the John Williams score was good too.
Yeah, right.
Doing the music. And the movie is very well polished on a technical level. So those are things they definitely did right. And again, before we bash the movie, I like to note that they did do a lot of shit good. And this is the thing we've been saying the entire episode, is that they did a lot of good things. It's the writing,
right,
fucking
and too many hands in the in the
pot.
Yeah.
At one time.
Yeah, definitely.
So
just let it be.
Of course, this is the bullet points I made for where it struggles.
Sure.
Palpatine's return overwhelms somehow. Palpatine Returns, I think, is the most shittiest writing I have ever seen in a movie, and I'm very sad to say that it was Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I don't even know. But then, so now what would they do? I'm sorry to cut you off, but now what would it be that then, like, so what? Now the fight, that Rey is going to have is to go and blow up the lab that they're trying to clone him in? Because you know where he's going to go to be cloned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to go where they did the first clones, where they did all the other clones. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's, that's where they're going to have to go.
He gets totally dead in this one. I mean, they blow his ass up, don't they? In the last
one? He didn't blow up.
Didn't they fry him with the?
Yeah, know what I'm saying. Yeah. No. What the fuck?
He died. Both of them beat his ass, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he did fry. Yeah,
but they probably got doing the lightning. And they
could they clone him again? Could they clone him again?
Mm-hmm.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully
not again. Okay, enough.
Yeah. I mean,
first time
because if they cloned him, could they clone him again? You know what I mean? Like, that's where it kind of makes the story. Hopefully they don't do that.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Hopefully they learn their lesson, because that's a famous line that people make fun of, is somehow Palpatine has returned.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't have returned the first time.
Yeah, well,
he should have been dead.
It also
DED.
Yeah, DED.
Finn's force sensitivity is teased, but it's never fully explored.
Right.
What we talk about, he's got there's something going on with it, but they never really go further into it.
Yes.
Again, the Knights of Ren finally appear, but barely. That's
because that shit was short lived.
Kylo loses the final villain position he earned by killing Snoke.
Right.
The Sith fleet raises logistical questions, like how do they have? He has a giant fleet on Exegol of like this massive fleet hitting on this planet. That was
that was like, to me. I get it. That maybe they were doing something secretly and they were trying to build up to something.
It's just so massive.
It just seems so, it was just super
and
extra.
They all have Death Star rays on them.
Yeah.
But every single Star Destroyer is a Death Star ray.
Well, wait. So let's back up a sec. We were just talking about technology moving forward.
That's true.
So then they should have had that kind of power on there.
But a planet used the sun to blow up other universes.
Then
But it requires Kyber, and how much Kyber are they? There's only 2 planets that they know of that have Kyber. One is Ilum. That's the one where all the Jedi go and where Hu Yang is, and they build their lightsabers. Right. And then the other one was the planet where I think that was the planet where the Starkiller Base.
Right.
So there's a couple planets that have Kyber on them, but how much Kyber are they fucking mining? You know what I mean? To make all this.
To make that happen. Yeah. But then how much do they really need to make it happen that then they could just,
Also,
do it over
the other
and
thing
over,
is, too, is the Death Star required a massive reactor to power the Death Star ray.
Right.
So now they just got it. We just got on Star Destroyers now,
Well, but you know what? We went from the freaking, the
I know, we went from a giant Zach Morris phone.
Yeah, to that now.
I know. I get it. I
get it. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But because we didn't see the fillers, you know what I'm saying? We don't have any fillers. It just jumped from it almost felt like it jumped every 10, 15 years to the next story,
right?
And they left so much space to see, why Ren, was the way he was, what was doing that for him. Rey maybe getting there a little bit sooner and being able to have Luke's tutelage, You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I know.
The other problem
There's so many directions they could have gone.
And the
really,
other problem
that would have made it better.
is Ben Solo dies right after his redemption.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, we're going
I
to follow the
hate
same
that
thing
shit.
with Darth Vader.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm
he
saying.
redeemed himself. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Like,
yeah,
come on.
right? Because it took too much energy for me to be good. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's fucking,
Which is different from Darth Vader's death. Darth Vader dies because,
he was saving Luke.
And not only that, because his suit was purposely made not impervious to Sith lightning.
Yeah, of course.
So, so Palpatine could take
because he didn't even know it. Yeah, I don't even think Anakin knew it. Darth Vader knew that, he wasn't going to be able to stop the fucking, getting fried.
I remember watching a video online where this shows, I think we talked about this once before, where Anakin has his suit off and he's working on it.
Yeah.
And Palpatine walks in and sees him and is giving him shit for it because he's like updating things and changing it and making it better so he's more comfortable. But he wanted him to be in pain and uncomfortable so he could control him.
Right.
We talked about that too, where they made the suit uncomfortable for him to wear. Bearable, but uncomfortable.
Right.
And Rey Skywalker, that's the thing that, like, she just names herself Skywalker. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, right. Because she's not even that fucking bloodline.
Like, so it's like, actually, you're technically a Palpatine.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, so you said Palpatine, but now you changed it. You made it to something that's...
But she's not going to be able to if they're saying that they're trying to bring him back.
The problem is it divided too many people.
Yeah, and that too.
They should have thought that one out because that was really not cool, though.
No.
So, whatever.
But then
some people liked it that she,
But how was she his...
But if she adopted it, I understand that. Yeah. That's fine.
Refresh my memory. How is it that she's a Palpatine?
He impregnated her somehow.
Yeah, it's like...
immaculate conception. Like they did... Jedi's had the power to make him pregnant somehow without having to be in there.
You have sex with my shadow. That's great. That's fucking great.
Shadow bangs you while you sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now you have my kid.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. No, because I didn't even know.
I didn't understand that part either.
Yeah.
So like the Palpatine return thing, the concept, it makes sense because they did the whole cloning thing, but again, it's just poorly executed. And it's just they made it so quick and easy. It's like, oh, somehow Palpatine was returned, and it's like they show as the part where they show Kylo Ren, going through Exegol, and then he's walking through and seeing all these things. They do that purposely to explain it, but they really don't explain it. The whole cloning thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that was just another poor execution. So, and again, secretly gathering resources to Exegol, it just doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Well, this movie.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Series wasn't that great, except for the first one. I thought the first one they did a good job, and then from there they just dropped the ball on every aspect, except for the visual and the special effects.
I think they're entertaining to watch, but story-wise, not so great.
Right.
Definitely entertaining to watch.
Right, definitely. So
they're fun movies to watch.
So Rey is the granddaughter, is Palpatine's granddaughter. She's related through a traditional family, but rather through a failed clone. So the father's origin, Dethan, Rey's father was a bioengineered strand-cast clone created from Palpatine's genetic material on the hidden world of Exegol, right? A failed experiment because Dethan lacked any connection to the Force. Palpatine considered him a useless failure and let him escape, hoping the bloodline might naturally produce a stronger offspring later. So that's what it was.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
we're at
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
You got one more?
But one of the things I did love is in the movie was definitely the cinematics. I love how they did certain things that they never saw in Star Wars before. Like in the first movie, in the first trilogy, The Force Awakens, is like right out of the gate, like you see Kylo Ren and he actually stops a blaster. Like,
right.
And just freezes that shit.
Yes.
That was fucking cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love.
Yep.
Just showing how the power of like the dark side or the Force itself, you could stop a blaster.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing, bro. If they would have built on that kind of thing.
They had sparks in certain areas.
Right.
So you saw things
you're like, ooh.
And then it was like, oh,
and like,
no, it went to a total,
Yeah.
But listen, maybe they will do it again some point in our lives where they'll just do it over.
Yeah.
In some fashion, whether it's animation or Who knows?
Yeah, they got it.
It'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah, this is, I said it would be cool to watch. But
yeah.
So I
think we're going to see in time if the sequels can be redeemed through additional footage. And I think, again, as I mentioned before, the prequels, we weren't well received like they are now.
Right.
So could that happen with the sequels?
He's like, no.
I say TBD.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
TBD. To be determined.
And you know what? It will be. And it'll be people who don't know the story of Star Wars and they'll have it all wrong.
Right, yeah. And
they'll be hooked onto that and everything.
Right.
And then we'll have to educate them and go, no, you're wrong. You don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Right.
And then so they suck.
Oh, because Disney Plus, you could watch every Star Wars.
Yeah, in order. I don't know.
You're talking in the future, right?
Yeah, we're talking in 10 years. How many of the kids are going to be watching?
Far in the future.
No, but 10 years. 10 years.
10 years, right?
10 years. Especially when newer stuff comes out.
Right, that then they're going to have to go back to watch the older stuff. But it has to be good shit. It can't be shitty shit. It's got to be good shit.
Apparently, from what I read, is that Rey is going to rebuild the Jedi Order.
Right.
And, I mean, the cool part is the fact that, like, the thing with Force Ghosts is the first person to figure out the Force Ghost thing was really Qui-Gon. So there was no Force Ghosts hanging around at the Jedi Council in the prequel era.
Mm-hmm.
This was like a newer thing.
Right.
So now
it was Obi-Wan who trained them, wasn't it?
They can rebuild the Jedi Order, right?
Right.
They can rebuild the Jedi Order.
Because they got to bring Qui-Gon
with these ancient Jedi,
right?
Like Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Yoda,
right? Yeah,
that would be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is kind of something I do look forward to, is kind of seeing all these Force Ghosts,
right?
Like helping Rey rebuild the Jedi Order.
Gotcha.
But hopefully, when she rebuilds the Jedi Order, she doesn't get into the whole dogmatic bullshit.
There you go. That's what I was going to say.
Destroyed the Jedi Order,
and that'll be
so
up to her to figure out.
Dark side, don't do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, I think she's going to go down the middle. I think she's going to. I think if she seemed like that's the way she would go.
Attachment.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think maybe it's like, oh, you know what? You're a Jedi. You can have a family, but understand how to separate attachment from fear.
Right.
When you're on Jedi duty, that's what all you're doing.
Yeah.
Period. Under discussion.
Right. It's not for 10 years at a time. It's you come and do your 8 hours, and it's like being a cop. That's it. Like being a cop.
But they would have something to look forward to go home.
Oh yeah, right. They would still have their family. No doubt.
Just don't let fear of
that loss. Yeah. Just no.
Right.
But
because it's funny because before we break away is in the prequels, Caddy, I forget what his name was. He's the one with the big head. He was in the Jedi Council. Mundi, I think his last name was. He was he's the one who had the really like cone head on.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
He was his species was like dying off species from wherever they were. So they let him have a family, but he was like completely detached, where he he found out his family got killed and he was like, oh, like totally like he emotionally detached himself so much when like something happened with his family and he died and he like didn't even care.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
that's kind of weird.
All right, next new wife.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, thank y'all for listening. Watch, subscribe, like, follow, all that good
wherever
stuff.
You find your podcast,
all over the place,
gentlemen.
Yes. So, love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper,
and may the Force be with you.
Holla.